next senator is Senator Lorraine Higgins. You have 8 minutes.
Thank you, Cahirlik. First and foremost, I want to welcome the Minister to the House today and thank him very much for the great contribution that he made at the start of this debate. It was most enlightening, Minister, and we're delighted to have you here, and I just want to wish you the very, very best of luck in your role as Minister for State of the Department of An Taoiseach and also Government Chief Whip, and I look forward to seeing you again in the House in the coming years. First and foremost, I suppose as well, I want to welcome the opportunity to speak today on the importance of statistics in developing public policy and the planning for the future of Ireland. It is clear that we must produce policies that really deal with problems that are forward-looking and tackle causes, not symptoms. This gives us a very clear perspective on the vital role statistics can play in our political process. Very often there is a disconnect between public policy and the citizens of this state. People view public policy as merely a product of government rather than an expression of the democratic process, and people view it as being something that is delivered to them rather than emanating from them. So this is something that we need to address in our term in government. It is undeniable, though, that the proper and efficient use of statistics leads to better policy outcomes, and we, the Irish Government, must be mindful of this. I'm very much an advocate of the old adage, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And I feel it is imperative that we formulate a national strategy for the development of statistics, which must be fully integrated into the national policy-making processes. Policy decisions must be based on careful and rigorous analysis using sound and accurate data, in order to ensure that government policies are effective, which in turn will improve development outcomes for society as a whole. Some might ask what makes statistics important in policy making, but they are the only singular way of making public policy decisions which are fully consistent with the democratic political process. The two brothers of transparency and accountability are an integral part of this, and this is an essential part of good governance. It ensures that sectional interests, and for want of a better word, cronies, do not control decision-making processes. It ensures that civil servants are accountable to the ministers, and in turn the ministers are accountable to the public, whereby the latter can monitor whether the policy made is effective or otherwise. We must be mindful that statistics help us identify issues such as poverty, inflation, air pollution, unemployment and the number of graduates we have in Ireland. Statistics also help us shape the design and choice of policy. It helps us forecast the future, helps us monitor policy implementation and helps us to evaluate policy impact. If policy cannot be measured, it is not good policy, plain and simple. Good statistics provide a basis for good decision-making. They help governments to identify the best courses of action in addressing complex problems, are essential to manage the effective delivery of basic services, and are an indispensable core requirement for accountability and transparency. Good statistics create an environment for development. They measure inputs, outputs, outcomes and impact, providing reliable assessments of key economic and social indicators, covering all aspects of development from measures of economic output and price inflation to the well-being of individuals. The litmus test of good statistics is their quality and accessibility and the efficiency with which they are produced. Good official statistics must have many characteristics. Most basically, official statistics are good only to the extent that they meet the needs of users. Official statistics must be available to a broad range of public and private users and be trusted to be objective and reliable. Good statistics must also have the breadth and depth of coverage to meet all policy needs and to inform the public so that they can evaluate the effectiveness of government actions. In Ireland, the Central Statistics Office is the main national statistical service. All census and surveys conducted on a nationwide basis are the responsibility of the CSO, and they do a great job, to be fair. However, to make use of the findings of the CSO, we now need to establish a type of steering committee with a view to determining guidelines, policy and priorities in statistical activities. Such a strategic approach will help to make statistics available for the formulation of national development policies and to align resources to improve statistical capacity where priority needs are. Government and society need good statistics. Proper use of good statistics leads to better policy and development outcomes. I feel that the public want to see facts and figures, and the bodies that were consulted in respect of new policy initiatives or legislative proposals. Furthermore, whatever form our initiatives take, for example, grant schemes or regulations, we need to ensure that they are systematically reviewed to check that they are achieving their desired outcomes. The added value of a steering committee would be that it would provide strategic planning and priority setting within the context of new policies. Indeed, as stated by the World Bank in 2000, statistics help to identify needs, set goals and monitor progress. Without good statistics, the development process is blind. Policymakers cannot learn from their mistakes and the public cannot hold them accountable. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Senator.